Hey, what's up, guys? So this is it. The end of the season review is here, and we'll take a look and see what we can figure out. Things are going to be a little bit slow, especially when we are looking here at the new players that we brought in, because I might have just panicked at the end of the season and gone to a couple other countries and looked for basically any player that would be willing to come to our team. We may have a completely different looking squad next season. You can see we have a couple of players that were brought in. Here on this screen, it'll show you here some of the highlights that we had. And of course, it was Elama Atu, who was the big highlight, after which was Robert Calliope. Interesting that there's nothing there for the board transfer reactions, because there were reactions when these players were signed. My guess is that the reason why there's no reaction is because the board changed after they were signed. I don't know. If you know the answer to that, you can let me know. But I think that's pretty much what happened. Overall, we've had some good performances from some of these new signings, but of course, Elama Atu is absolutely the best of the bunch, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not so sad about Kareem, who I, by the way, just got rid of. The board gave me a C plus here for the season results, and they seem satisfied that we finished in the top half, which is nice, I suppose. But I would have liked to see more than a C plus. Also, our average home attendance of 450, I think, was a little bit further down. Moments to remember, you'll know about some of these. We had a number of moments that are worth cherishing. I think the biggest one of them, though, probably was... well, I don't know. That goal of the season by Atu right at the beginning of that first match against Ilawa and Tuamato, I think, was probably a really big one. That was an amazing, amazing goal. That was probably also the match to remember. Remember that one? That was the really big match where I said this is probably going to be the season, and I thought that it was. And then, of course, we wound up losing the whole thing to Lionheart, and Ilawa and Tuamato ended up finishing above us anyway. Now you can see the reason why I'm running around trying to find new players. As far as finances are concerned, there's really not much to look at here. You know, our reputation as a club is kind of like the same as it's been. There's not really that much of a change to things like merchandise or anything like that. Sponsorship's the same. Corporate hospitality went down a little bit. Match day commercial retail went down a little bit because we had fewer people in attendance, and the only reason for that is because we weren't quite as competitive this year as we were last year. Just a quick look here at sort of the way that we've lined up. And this is one of those classic things where you're going to know all these players. Mia Kuvalu, we know about. Fa Moana had a really poor season. He's back in the under-18s. We had Hengi Hengi Poli, who I probably should have played more. Probably Pua, of course, and Tiatia, we know about them. Tuala Lele did a pretty good job there in that defensive midfield role, and Kaleopa did okay here. Of course, we did mess around a lot with this tactic. Milani, if he had... basically, if Rock Calliope had not been suspended, I think Milani would have done better playing in that more familiar position. Atu on the left, and... Robert Calliope on the right, he was kind of a disappointment, actually, but he did get a good rating. And then, of course, Maele up front was absolutely amazing. Take a look at the accolades here this season. So my in-game persona is now 21 years old after starting off at age 18. You can see that Maele is pretty much on top of everything. Maele got the fans player of the season, young player of the season. Atu was a signing of the season, of course. Some of these down here we don't care that much about. We knew that Maele was going to get the highest average rating and most man of the match awards for the team. That was pretty obvious. He wound up with 5 goals in a single match, 5 in a league match, of course. There were 6 clean sheets by Marcelino Ikuvalu, which is funny because we're probably going to find a new goaltender. It says here that Maele had 49 league appearances. I think that's overall. I don't think that's in a single season, as well as the 65 goals is definitely overall, not in a single season. When we look at competition awards, of course, Maele won a number of pretty prestigious awards. I mean, this is American Samoa, so how prestigious can you get? But he ended up being the player of the season in the league, the top goal scorer, and the youngster of the season, all in the same area. So we did sort of struggle to find our best here as far as history in the making is concerned. We had a hard time finding our best form. Having said that, I think that we did sort of okay this season. We got 3rd place, which could be worse. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about this, of course. Yeah, you can see here the 2 takeovers within less than 6 months of each other. So it is, although I think those dates are a little bit off, but whatever. And yeah, so it is. We have 1 trophy, 1 major award so far with this club, and that's going to be it. So that's really kind of the end of this. You can see that we have a whole bunch of different players here in the best overall 11. Maele, of course, is up there. Interesting that Petupoli is up here, even though he hardly played. Wow, Danielson, of course, we recall. I really disagree with that. I don't think that he's that good. A lot of the rest of these I agree with. Milani should be up a little bit closer, and that will change over time. As far as personal things are concerned here in the save, I'm not going anywhere. Of course, we're going to stay here at American Samoa for probably at least 2 seasons, if not longer. And so we are in this for the long haul. I don't think that I would go to any other club unless we got a professional offer from like someplace in New Zealand right now. So we're going to keep at it. I'll take a quick look over here at the finances and see if the board allows me to request anything worthwhile, and no, they do not. I can't get the next coaching course quite yet, so I'm waiting for that to open up again. That'll open up here eventually, and basically from here on out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dismiss the club. We'll have the end of season meeting and all this stuff, and then the next time I will see you will probably be in, I don't even know how many in-game months. It's going to be quite a ways away, so we're going to put this baby on auto and go do a bunch of other stuff in the meantime, and I will talk with you tomorrow. See you then. Bye.